92.5 FM.
All right, we welcome you in. A new drug today is the new title. Good to be back from San Antonio. Frank Frangie along with Hacker filling in for Hays Carlyon. Back-to-back weeks for you. You tired of this yet?
No, I'm enjoying it.
You're okay, are you?
I am in awe that you're here and functional after, 40 minutes of sleep?
Here and marginally functional. Yeah, I would say that's it. But, 42 minutes of sleep last night. And, felt good about those 42 minutes. I'll tell you all about it coming up. A little bit scratchy.
Yeah.
I had a couple commercials to lay down, and Tom Champion kind enough to say, why don't we do them tomorrow? A little bit more of a voice. So, but what a run for the Gators, and I'll talk all about the trip to San Antonio. It was great. I was thrilled, but also happy for all those Gator fans, and what a run it was. So we'll certainly do that today. JJ, how you doing, buddy? You good?
I am. It's good to see you. It's been months.
Yeah,
I feel
it's
like.
been forever. I was off vacation
But
last
Hack
week.
and Hays did a great job holding it down with
I
action.
have no doubt. That's why Hack's going to be the bullpen guy for us, and we're very excited about that. And
I loved Hayes' video last night
Wasn't
with
that
the sun.
and he picked up the dog.
He loved the
Picking up
dog just as much.
The
yeah.
dog looked confused at first, but then went with it. Yeah.
That's exactly
It
what
was
happened.
also the dog's first national title.
That's exactly right. But Hack and I have done an awful lot of radio together, so I'm excited about this. So I appreciate you sitting in with us for some of this time. So that'll be kind of fun. A lot to get to today. I do want to talk about the Jags being on the field tomorrow, or they're having a press conference tomorrow to talk about that. Liam will meet with the media. Trevor will as well. What will they get out of it? We'll talk about that. Trayvon Walker is going to play in the fifth year, then hopefully get extended. I assume they'll extend it. We'll certainly get to some of that coming up today as well. So we got a lot of Jaguar stuff. We always will. But we'll start with the Gators. I'm going to give you the whole litany of what it was like. I'll kind of overview then why I think they won the title. But let me ask you, as a like me, longtime Florida fan, how do you feel? Is it more exhilarated than the other ones, less than the other ones? When I say other ones, I'm putting football and basketball together. Let me say this. We've always had this belief that, well, basketball is great, but it ain't football. I got to tell you, men's basketball has closed the gap to where it feels similar to me. I'm not saying the same, but similar. So as Gator fan forever, you who had to fight them off in Tallahassee when you were a kid as a Gator fan, I mean, how exhilarated were you compared to other times?
I was talking with Graham Marsh on the Gator Bites podcast this morning about this. 08 football, to me, is probably still number one. Tebow, Percy Harvin, that second title for Tebow when he was the full-time starter. After that, this 25 basketball team's in the conversation. And my thing with it, Frank, is, all right, Noah Horford Brewer, obviously that was so much fun. But those tournament games, those 12 wins over those 2 years, what did they have, 2 nail-biters? Georgetown in year 1, maybe Purdue in year 2. They ran roughshod over a lot of those teams. There weren't a lot of games that were in doubt.
Correct.
Florida was trailing in the second half of 4 of these 6 games, 3 of which they were trailing with 4 minutes to go. And the fact that they were able to win them all in dramatic fashion, man, did make it really, really sweet.
There's a magic to this one, Hack. And I'll tell you a story. I was telling Graham this back in the back a minute ago. I'll tell you a story. This is a true story. I'm not embellishing this because we've seen it. And again, I went as a fan. Right, I wasn't on press row. I wasn't talking to the players. I went as a fan with a bunch of buddies. Now, and I sent a bunch of video stuff back to help our digital. But I went as fan guy, right? Both games, and I'm sitting around Gator buddies. Both games, when it became down 9, both times, I said, relax. Oh, we can't relax. I said, relax. I'm telling you, now if it gets to 19, you're in trouble.
Right.
But if it's 7, 9, 11, 8, trust me, they're going to make a run. And they looked at me like I had a blue head. I said, you guys have seen it. If they haven't taught us yet that they're still in it down 9 or 7 or 11. Again, there may not be in it down 22. And I really believed that. And I sat there calmly and I waited. Now, I thought yesterday would be the same thing the other ones were. Walter Clayton started bombing threes. He only hit one. And it's 63-62. See, in the first half, I got so much to talk about the game, and I'll get to it in a minute. But they weren't going to let him beat him. They ran a second guy at him the whole time. They ran a big at him. They were getting the ball out of his hands. And it's pretty clear. Kelvin Sampson said, listen, he's not beating us. They might dunk on us with every other guy in the history of Florida basketball, but he's not dunking on us.
Right.
Okay. So he's not going to beat us. But then in the second half, they didn't play him as tight. And he had a couple good looks. He never had a good look in the first half. He was trying to shoot off-balance shots while covered. He was forcing shots. But it's 63-62 with about 112 left. He had a pretty good look and missed it. Do you remember that?
I do.
We just knew that was going in. And he missed it. I thought, okay, that's the first time I thought, okay, they might not win. I thought they might not win when he missed that shot. And then lo and behold, he made the play defensively to win it. So, but the connectivity of that team, the completeness of that team, there's a lot of reasons why they won. And I'm going to get to kind of all of that coming up in a bit. But I'm going to start with this. Hat tip to Gator Nation. And JJ, you made the point. We were talking off air. You were convinced they'd go there. They all showed up. I'm telling you, Gator Nation, it was the doggone. They brought the cavalry, bro.
Mm-hmm.
It was, and I think this basketball team. The reason I asked you the question, how much it connects, I think this group connects with their team, their fans as much as any team they've ever had in any sport as far as connecting with the fans. That doesn't mean they'll remember them the same way. To your point about Tebow and Percy and all, I mean, to me, it's the '96 football team. So it's based on your age, but I will tell you, the amount of fans that were at these things. Florida has played for 8 championships in football and basketball. They're 3-1 in football. They lost to Nebraska. They've beaten FSU, Oklahoma, and Ohio State, and they're 3-1 in basketball. They lost to Michigan State, but they've beaten UCLA, Ohio State, and now Houston. So they've played 8 of those. I was at all 8. I've been at 8 of them. They've been to 6 Final Fours and played in 10 Final Four games. I've been to all of them. I've been to every game of significance the University of Florida football or basketball has ever played. So I got a pretty good I'm not bragging about that. I'm saying I got a pretty good barometer of how they connect and the fans. I don't know that I remember this. Those in the O-Dome? In 06 and 07, did they pack the O-Dome? Maybe they did, and I just don't remember it. Did you see those scenes? Did you see the scenes from University Avenue last night?
Incredible. Incredible.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
And again, maybe there's better video now. There's more social media now, so maybe we have access to seeing the recordings of it or the video of it. But I don't remember that. Hacker, I'm telling you, the fans that were there, and we have recency bias. I'm sure they were in Indianapolis and in Atlanta. I'm sure they were in Phoenix and were in New Orleans. They're always in New Orleans. But it's incredible the connection, the connectivity between this fan base and this team. So the game ends, they win. Everybody sticks around for one shining moment, which was awesome. It's always awesome when you're the last team in one shining moment. They play it in the dome.
Yeah, I saw Walter Clayton looking at the jumbotron.
Yeah, they played which is really cool. So then the walk from this river walk's incredible. I'd never been to San. Have you been to San Antonio?
I've been to the airport. Never actually been to the city.
JJ, have you been to San Antonio?
No.
Yeah, I'd never been. So this river walk, it's 2.5 miles, but there's more stuff along it you can't imagine because the river's narrow.
Mm-hmm.
It's like 100 feet across, so it's very narrow. So, but there's shops. It's amazing. So anyway, there's about a 20-minute walk from the Alamo Dome back to the Riverwalk where all the stuff is going to happen. So you walk it. The amount of Gator people, there couldn't have been any Gator fans left in the state. I mean, there were so many of them there. And then they do a river cruise tour. Whoever was going to win, they're told beforehand there will be a parade. There's a parade down the river at 2 a.m.
Yeah,
and it's the band. The band's on their own boat. Then it's followed by the cheerleaders. They're on their own boat. Then the team, just the players, on their own boat. And then it's Golden and his staff and his coaches, and they're on those 4 boats. And the craziness down there. Imagine this: a riverboat cruise down the Riverwalk in San Antonio, with Gator fans on both sides of the river losing their mind at 2 a.m. And it was, and I'm telling you, Gator, tip of the cap to Mike Bianchi wrote that column and he made a good point. He said Gator fans really connect with this team because it's been a while since they've had one. The 14 team, in fairness to the Patrick Young, Prather team, they lost on Saturday. That was also in Texas. It was in Dallas. And I remember thinking there were some Gator fans there, but there weren't a litany of them. But in fairness, if they had gotten to Monday, would the Gator fans have all showed up like they did yesterday? You know what I mean?
You know what's curious about that? I actually had Will You Get On last week.
Yeah.
He's over in France playing. Right. He's a 10-year vet over in Europe. Boy, he loves this team. You saw Al Horford. You saw Matt Walsh. You saw all these former Gator players. And I'm assuming that was like that 18 years ago. But, man, all these former guys just connected around this team as well.
Doring and Casey, I was with them right before the game. they love this team like it's a football team.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so this team has just really embraced Gator Nation. And by the way, it helps when you keep winning.
Right.
And he also won the title.
When you're 36-4, it doesn't hurt.
But it really was an amazing connection between this basketball team, their fan base, the Gator Nation, how they showed up. Again, of all the ones I've been to, this one, look, there were a lot in Phoenix in '95 when Nebraska blew them out.
Yeah.
They're always in New Orleans because they know how to get there because of all the Sugar Bowl years. But I'm telling you, the amount of Gators there, and I'm not saying there's as many as the Sugar Bowl where they can all drive, or a lot of them can drive, but it was a pretty amazing. It was an amazing setting. I'll give Houston credit too. They showed up too now because they're 3 hours away.
Well, conventional thinking, we talked to you yesterday, was that Houston fans were going to buy up the Duke and the Auburn tickets.
Right.
Do you think Florida bought up the Duke and the Auburn tickets?
No, there were more Houston. They announced 66,000. Okay, my guess was, and we all kind of guessed at this. If you broke it down, I would guess 30,000 Houston, 25 Florida.
Wow.
And probably 10,000 of Duke, Auburn, locals, people that just go to the game. But so Duke, I mean, now there are a lot of Houston people there. They weren't at the Riverwalk.
Yeah.
Because they go there all the time, probably. That's no big deal to them. That's us going to Disney, no offense.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
And they especially weren't there at 2 a.m.
Yeah, right. But they were all at the game. So probably there were more Houston, but it was close. It was very close. But anyway, so watching the game, the connect. I'll get to the game and the team in a minute, but the connection hack between this franchise, this program, and its fan base is pretty amazing, and that was fun to watch. And Golden and the players have a lot to do the way they carry themselves.
Do you have a thought as to why the fan base is connected with this team the way they have?
I do, and I'm going to take a break, and then I'm going to talk all about that. Why they connect with this team, because it's a good question, and I do have a thought, and I'm going to get to that in a minute. I'm also going to tell you why I think they won the national championships. We'll talk some Gator basketball, Jaguar football coming up. We'll talk about Trayvon. We'll talk about the Jags being on the field for the first time now in the offseason workouts. We got a lot of stuff to get to. We'll go through the NFL. Got a lot of NFL questions for you and thoughts about where teams seem to be headed. We'll talk draft. You always got to talk draft now, don't you? I mean, we are in April. I mean, the law is you talk draft in April.
I talk 5 mock drafts a day, man. It's mock draft season.
So all that coming up. We're glad you are with us. It is a Tuesday installment of our program. I do want to thank my friends from the Nimnick family dealership. Those Nimnicks were all there. Lee was there and Billy was there. They were all there. They're not going to miss this. They're diehard sports fans. They do a wonderful job. Nimnick Chevrolet is on Caston Avenue. I've been buying my cars there since the early 80s. Nimnick Buick GMC is on Phillips Highway. If you want to buy a car in this market, the name to know is Nimnick. Nobody but Nimnick. We'll come back and talk some hoops after this.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
This is Hays Carlyon for Kingfish Pest Control. Mosquito season is upon us, but don't let them take over. The secret to a bite-free yard is starting today with Kingfish Pest Control. Their 3-step mosquito defense process stops them before they can spread. Eliminate breeding areas, build a protective barrier around your yard, and monthly treatments to keep them away all season long. The earlier you start, the fewer mosquitoes you'll have to fight. Don't let those pests ruin your outdoor fun. Call Kingfish Pest Control, proud partner of the Jaguars.
That was a great team effort out there.
Because sports are life.
Y'all played your hearts out. I'm proud of it.
1010XL.
Good job.
Frank Frangie here for South State Bank. South State has helped our businesses and charity grow and thrive. Whether you're expanding your operations, managing cash flow, or planning for the future, South State Bank offers forward-thinking, tailored solutions to meet your unique business needs. With expert guidance and best-in-class service, South State is here to help you move your business forward. Visit southstatebank.com or stop by your local branch today. Let South State become your partner in taking your business to the next level. That's South State Bank, member FDIC.
Get a healthy start in 2025. The Florida Department of Health in Duval County is here to encourage you to get healthy and stay healthy this year. They have a dedicated team who are committed to providing quality care. The goal is to protect, promote, and improve the health of you and your family. Visit duval.floridahealth.gov to learn more about their health programs and services. That's duval.floridahealth.gov.
When you need a mechanic you can trust, call Sam, Harry, or Joe at AA Automotive on Richard Street. From oil changes to complex engine repairs, AA Automotive promises expert service and honest pricing from a local family biz. AA Automotive on Richard Street.
It's game time for your business, and Advanced Business Solutions has the winning play. With Xerox copiers, you'll never miss a deadline. Fast, reliable, and built for high performance, Xerox copiers keep your team ahead of the competition. From printing to scanning, Xerox brings the MVPs of efficiency to your office. Ready to make the winning move? Hire the champions at Advanced Business Solutions. Veteran owned.
Printers, copiers, and IT management. Advanced Business Solutions.
Hacker here, and guess what my scale reads? 195 pounds. I'm shocked seeing that number, but it's there every month. The weight is staying off after dropping 122 pounds. Absolutely life-changing. Awaken180weightloss.com.
If the green jacket fits,
Scheffler outshines them all at Augusta.
listen for 1010XL Masters updates covered by TopDressing.com and St. John's Middle School Athletic Association.
No matter what the reason, sending a floral arrangement from Kuhn Flowers always works. For unique and special gifts, visit their showroom on Beach Boulevard. Dylan Denmark here with 1010XL. Kuhn Flowers is my go-to and should be yours. Online at KuhnFlowers.com.
Right now, they're on their way to disrupt your life, make you uncomfortable, and rob you. Don't bother calling the police. They can't help. That's right. Summer heat and humidity are about to attack North Florida again. You know what to do. Call Mike Merritt. Mike Merritt's Heating and Air has a license to chill. When heat and humidity are attacking you, Mike Merritt provides a comfortable chill at a bargain price. Mike has been keeping North Florida comfortable for 30 years. Mike Merritt technicians are never paid commissions, meaning you'll never be pressured to buy something you don't need. And Mike Merritt knows cooling issues can arise anytime. They don't just happen during business hours. So Mike Merritt never charges overtime fees. When you need us, we're here for you. Remember, in the fight against heat and humidity, Mike Merritt has a license to chill. Visit merrittair.com. Florida license number CACO 50384.
Looking for a great place to enjoy some craft creations and soak up some scenery? Fernandina's Mocama Beer Company is a must-see and must-try. Nassau County knows it. Visitors need to find out about it. Mocama means near the big water where the sun is born. And if you visit their tap room in Fernandina Beach, you'll see how they've mastered equal parts precision and art in creating great flavors from IPAs to Pilsners, lagers, and sours, plus plenty more. Mocama.com. Mocama Beer Company. Start an adventure and find them in Fernandina.
Attention golfers, Hidden Hills Golf Club is an attractive destination for golfers all over the Southeast. You too will enjoy our classic Arnold Palmer design that will test your game and keep you coming back. Book a tee time at hiddenhillsgc.com.
If you're heading to the Og or you're already part of the nation's oldest, don't forget to drop into Sunset Grill. For over 30 years, serving up great chowder, seafood, wings, and cold beer. Sunset Grill, somewhere on A1A, St. Augustine Beach.
Buying a home used to feel like a complete headache. Listings here, pre-approval there, financing somewhere else. Now, Rocket is giving every home one address. Rocket.com. A single, seamless homeownership platform to help you find, buy, sell, finance, and refinance your home. Everything you need, all under one roof. Visit Rocket.com, the new home for all things homeownership. Rocket. Own the dream.
Electrical problems? Call American Electrical Contracting. 737-7770. Small jobs or large, they do them all. Work with a locally owned and operated company that will wire it right at a fair price. It's not just a slogan, it's the way they do business.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
It's a Nimnik Tuesday on The Frangie Show. Nimnik, your friends in the car business since 1941.
And we appreciate our friends from Nimnik. Nimnik Chevrolet is on Cassett. Nimnik Buick GMC is located on Phillips Highway, the only place to buy cars where I've been buying mine since the early 80s. I told you a moment ago. And I'm proud to be the spokesman for the best car dealership in town. My friends at the Nimnik family of dealerships. Nimnik Chevrolet, Nimnik Buick GMC. You asked a great question at the break. Why do I think Gator Nation connected with this team? Part of it's what I said. It's been a long time. It's been a long time since the Gators have had national prominence in football or basketball. They've had it in baseball and gymnastics and track and golf, but with all due respect, people, the mainstream folks don't care about that. I shouldn't say don't care. That's not fair. But they don't get all jacked up about it. They get jacked up about football and basketball. It's been a while. But heck, more than that, it's and I'm going to repeat all the cliches because you know all this or all the stats you know. But there's no McDonald's All-Americans on this team. Do you know this is the first team in the expanded era of the NCAA tournament to ever win a national championship without a top 100 recruit?
Wow.
It's never happened. It's never happened. Chinyelu was 106 one year. Okay. But they don't have top. He was the highest one. They don't, the first team to ever do it. So there's no arrogance with this team. They're underdogs. They're chip on their shoulder guys. I know it's cliche, but you were talking about it when I was on with the other day. They've come from Marshall and Iona and Florida Atlantic and Belmont, and that's the stars of the team. You know, guys that have come from these other schools, from the Washington State bench.
Well, and Houck had one SEC offer. That was Florida.
Right. And a guy that nobody knew. So they're underdogs. They're not arrogant. They're not trash talkers. You watch all the games. You don't see them jawing with anybody. You almost never see that happening. You know, they don't act like they truly are a team. They don't care who gets the credit. I know how cliche that is, but it's very real. When you saw Walter Clayton go over to, who was it? The kid that turned the ball over.
Sharp.
When you saw him go over to Sharp, and if you've seen it, it's been all over. It's viral today. That's who he is.
Yeah.
He wants to celebrate with his team, but he wants to go tell the guy, hey, man, it was a bad thing. It was really a cool moment. That's who they are. So it's easy to root for Rudy. It was easy to root for the Cleveland Indians during Major League or to the replacements because these guys, now they're way better, but these guys are those. It's that guy. It's these underdogs that respect Florida, that respect the brand, that respect each other, that respect the fans. I mean, the coach is an underdog. He was the freaking coach at San Francisco a few years ago. Nobody ever heard of him. He's the youngest coach to win a title since Valvano. So all those things, if you think about it, Hack, if you add all that up, that they're likable, they play hard, they're not arrogant, they love the brand, they love each other. There's no McDonald's guys. You know, there's a few NBA guys. Clayton will play in the NBA. I didn't used to think so, but I do now. Condon will be on a roster. You guys know the NBA better than I do, but they're not loaded with NBA guys. They're just lovable in all those ways. And I think that's one of the reasons. I'll get to how good the team is in a minute. But that's one of the reasons I believe people connect with them.
Yeah, no, it was a lot of fun, 36-4. And, you know, it's funny, when they lost to Georgia, right, I remember sitting on Hacker After Dark that next day, and I'm like, man, first off, it sucked you lose to Mike White, and I hated that. But you always talk about, well, this is a good loss, right? Because it makes yourself feel better. It's a good loss. It'll center them. It'll put things into perspective. Do you actually believe that? Well, that's the common thing to say to make yourself feel better about a tough loss. They did not lose again. That's the last time they lost a game. Was that game to Mike White in Athens? When was that? In mid-February. Right. I mean, it's an amazing run. And you think about the teams they played after that game, from Alabama twice, Tennessee, Auburn, the run they made in the tournament from UConn, Maryland, Texas Tech, Auburn again, obviously Houston. What a 12-13 game run they made. Quickly, you talk about Houston, too. I'm curious, from you being in the Alamo Dome, I saw this from many outlets covering the Houston Cougars last night. This was a special Florida team, and they took advantage of it, winning a national championship. It was also a special Houston team, a very veteran-laid Houston team. They said it was complete devastation in the Houston locker room. I mean, devastation. Yeah. Did you sense that from the Houston fans leaving the Alamo Dome?
And you asked it the right way, because I wasn't around the players. I was around the fans. Absolutely. I mean, I had lunch with two Houston fans. The days run together, I think, Sunday? Maybe Monday. Maybe Sunday. I had lunch Sunday, I think it was. I had lunch with some really good Houston fans. Just happened to bump into them. And this was their time, man. They weren't around when Clyde Drexler and Hakeem were there.
Right.
They weren't in the mix of fans. They've grown up. They've made money. They've become boosters. this was their year, and especially after escaping the Duke game.
Well, they thought they were a team of destiny like Florida.
Yes, after escaping the Duke game. So, yeah, they were devastated. And it is a veteran team. That's where I'm going to get to. It's a good segue. To your question, yes. That's the segue to why Florida won. Number one, we now know in the portal era, you better have veteran guys. Duke even found it out. Duke, the one team that doesn't have a lot of veterans, lost. And they might have caved a little bit at the end of that game. I got a buddy that's a diehard Duke fan. He was out there with us. And he said his biggest concern was, are they mature enough? Are they tough enough? And in those last 3 minutes of that game, Houston was tougher. And that's why they beat them. Look at how Florida's built. Best guard combination, best backcourt in the country. All three guys are probably 22 or 23 years old. All three guys can shoot it. In today's day and age, you got to shoot it. You can't have a guard that. Remember the old days, you got to have a point guard that saw the floor but wasn't really good. You can't, not anymore. You all have to. All three guys can shoot it. Heck, all three guys are tough. All three guys are. I mean, they're tough. Richard and Martin are great defenders. Clayton's not a great defender, but he plays hard and he made the big play at the end. But so number one, the guards are tough and they're older guys. Even the backup guard would start for just about anybody else. Mm-hmm. The guard off the bench, Denzel Aberdeen, would start for so they're really deep in the backcourt. In the front court, their big weakness was in interior scoring. We all knew that. They don't score around the basket. Condon's got to become a better interior scorer. He's not a very good interior scorer. Chinyalu's not. Houck scores, but he's more of a face-to-the-basket scorer. He makes threes. He drives to the basket. He's not a back-to-the-basket scorer either. So they don't have any back-to-the-basket scoring. And they kept running into teams that did. Janai Broome went for about 90 points or something the other night against by backing people down, didn't he? Jarian Williams, the guy from Texas Tech, backed him down. Last night, Roberts, they're going against guys who have back-to-the-basket scoring, and they don't have that.
Derek Queen, too, from Maryland.
Derek Queen has a great point. They don't have that.
Yeah.
So the only hole they had was back to the basket, physicality and back to the basket scoring. So they had to get it. They had to win without it. So they won without it with those great guards. They won without it because the front court guys they do have play hard and play fast and play relentlessly. It was just a great combination. Now, what they do have is 2 7-footers who run the floor. And think of it, not many teams have that. I mean, don't kid yourself. Alex Condon's 7 feet. They may list him at 6'11". He's a 7-footer. So they have 2 7-footers that run the floor. They've got a 6'9" guy that runs the floor and can bury threes, and they got a bodybuilder in Chinyalu. I'll say this: the one thing when they got beat by Colorado, I might have said this to you yesterday on the show. I was on a lot of shows, so it's kind of run together. But they got pushed around by Colorado, and he said, "Okay, that's not gonna happen again." So he went out and got Martin and Chinyalu, who are football player looking guys, because he didn't have any of the football player looking guys. So the completeness of the team. Really good shooters, really good guards, not inside scoring, but 2 7-footers that run the floor, a 6'9" guy that can run and shoot and make threes and drive, and a 6'11", 260-pound bodybuilder. That's a big team. Okay, so you can mitigate the inside scoring. So connectivity, they really played for each other. Well coached. He's always good. Isn't he good out of the break? I mean, how good are they in the if college basketball had quarters, which one day it's going to, by the way, if college basketball had 10-minute quarters, how good would they be in that third quarter?
Oh, the third quarter, yeah. No, and
best team in the country.
Last night, 60-57, coming out of a break. Houston just turned it over.
Yeah.
Walter Clayton, his best look of the night, right out of a timeout.
Correct. So they're well coached. Connectivity, they trust each other. Veteran guards, which really matter. Enough length in the front court if they don't have brawn in the front court, so they can overcome that. So that's all part of all this. The other part of it is they have a great player. If you have a great player, you can rely on him. It's like a pitcher. If you have a great pitcher, you know you're going to win when he pitches. If you have a great quarterback, he's going to overcome some bad stuff. Walter Clayton's a great player. I know he didn't score a lot yesterday, but he is a great, great player. And so great guards, length up front. They play hard. They play with that chip on their shoulder. They're the underdogs. They're well coached. That's why they're so good. And because they're humble and not arrogant and kind of blue-collar backgrounds, if you will, that's why the fans connect with them. It's a storybook season. It is. If you add up everything, a buddy of mine texted me last night, said he's not a big Gator fan. He says, you know what? They never flinch. He said they're mentally tough and they never flinch. That's what they don't do. No matter how much they get behind, they never flinch. And that's a big part of who they are.
First time in 20 years that a team trailed by 9 or more in the Elite Eight, the Final Four, and the title game and came back to win all 3 of those games. I love the fact that Will Richard, Todd Golden's basically first recruit, kept their head above water. I mean, where would they be within the first half without Will Richard? They scored 28. Richard had half of those points. And finally, with Golden, he had 0 NCAA tournament wins 3.5 weeks ago. He now has 6 NCAA tournament wins and a national championship. And by the way, he had to go through Bruce Pearl and Kelvin Sampson to get to said national championship. I mean, that's a movie.
Yeah.
That's craziness.
It really. And Rick Barnes and Bruce Pearl and Nate Oates don't have a national title.
Right.
He's the one of that group that does, which is pretty amazing stuff. At the end of the game, when Aberdeen missed the 1 free throw, it certainly had 3-point dagger written all over it.
I even said on Twitter, and I know what you're going to say because you're a basketball purist, I think. I was tempted to foul at 65-63 because then you cannot lose in regulation.
Well, let me tell you what happened. The defensive coaches, John, what's his name, the guy going to Columbia, I think, or maybe he's the guy going to Campbell, he brought it up to Golden. He said, do we foul one of their worst free throw shooters? If it's a bad free throw shooter, he's probably not making both. If he makes both, we got the ball with no shot clock.
Right.
So do we try that? And Golden, I wouldn't have done it. But it's not the dumbest thing in the world.
That would have been crazy because they hadn't even got a shot up the last 3 possessions. Well, that would have been insanely dumb.
It would, but the guy brought it up, and Golden said, "No, I'm going to trust our defense." But it did have 3-point shot to beat you written all over.
It would have been insanely dumb until Sharp hits that 3.
You don't foul up 2. You just don't do that.
No, you don't. That's to Hacker's point. You don't do it. But, again, a really accomplished basketball coach ran it by Golden. I can tell you they had that conversation. I think it's in Chris Harry's story. They had that conversation. And Golden said, no, we're going to play it this way. So you have every conversation. But because of that, I think Sharp had a little hero ball going. He wanted to Kelvin Sampson said after the game, I wish he had pump faked and gone downhill because we would have had something there. Instead, it was clear they weren't letting him shoot the 3. I mean, Walter Clayton ran at him like he was LT coming off the edge. And I thought he did a great job, by the way. Did you see how he did it? He turned his body so he wouldn't collide with him. So he ran at him to block the shot, but go back and watch the video. Clayton turned his body so there was no danger of fouling him.
Right.
Because the last thing he needs 3 free throws to beat you, you know. So Sharp, rather than assessing the situation, that was hero ball. He was going to shoot a 3-pointer to win the national championship to be the guy that won the national championship.
Do you think the play was for him? See, when I saw it, I thought they reversed it because Will Richard did such a good job on their point guard.
Yeah. They said maybe. I think Clayton said they were running an elevator screen for Cryer. You know what that's 2 post guys on either elbow, and he comes right through the middle.
And the center just completely missed the screen.
Yeah, he did. That's right. But he did miss it. But an elevator screen is you put 2 guys at the elbow, 2 guys at either end of the foul line, and the shooter runs from the basket. Do you remember that Craig Brown used to run it all the time under Billy? The shooter runs in between the 2 guys, so then he's wide open. It's an elevator screen. And Clayton said they read that, and you're right, JJ. Roberts did not get his pick, but Clayton said they thought that's what they were going to run. He thought it's what they did run. It wasn't there, so then they had to swing it to Sharp. And then again, Sharp, instead of pump faking and going down, he tried to get the shot off. And what a wild play. Here's what's crazy. If you're in the arena, you guys are watching on TV, so you got the shot clock, okay? I'm in the arena. Now, there's a clock, but there's not a clock where I'm watching the game. Trying to picture this. When you're watching the game on TV, you have the game and the clock, right? All in your rectangle. Well, if you're at the game, and in my case, in the stands, pretty good seats, but still in the stands, you're watching the game. You're not watching the shot clock. So I forgot about the clock. I'm watching it, okay, because the clock was out of my mind because they had plenty of time. It's not like they were inbounding it with 2 seconds. So they inbound the ball, and they're bringing it up court, and you're watching it. You can tell Florida's defending them well. And so I'm watching it. They swing it to the right, nothing there. They swing it back to the middle. They swing it over to the left to Sharp. You see him go up. You realize Clayton defended him to where he couldn't shoot it. So he dropped the ball, and he got away. And you knew what he was doing. He would get called for traveling if he came down with the ball. So he had to drop the ball, and he couldn't touch it again.
Right.
So he had to get out of the way. He tried to shield Clayton and try and get out of the way. and Condon's diving, and he beats the guy to it. So I'm watching all that. I forgot about the clock.
Yeah.
Then the horn goes off. Watching on TV, did it have that effect? Or
I
no?
mean, I was stunned.
The horn goes off, we all realize Florida won the national championship.
Yeah, I see.
The horn goes off. They're the national champions. When that horn, I forgot about the horn.
I saw Clayton jump into Lockton's arms, and I'm just trying to compress, figure out what exactly just transpired. It was craziness.
Yeah.
Absolute craziness. And, it's funny, Clayton did to Sharp what Condon did to Baker Mazzara in the Final Four. Remember, key moment in the last 2 minutes to go, Baker Mazzara is going up for a shot. Condon did the same thing. Baker Mazzara came down. They called traveling.
Correct.
Sharp let the ball go. He would have been called for traveling like Baker Mazzara. That's why he couldn't touch it.
One other part of that is both Auburn and I don't know enough about strength programs at these schools, but both Auburn and Texas Tech a little bit, but Auburn and Houston were gassed at the end of those games. Did you notice that?
They were tired.
You could be in there. You could see them because the camera might not catch them leaning over, holding their shorts. They might not have been. I was watching the whole thing. They were both gassed. Does that mean Florida playing a lot of guys? Florida's in better shape. Florida's style of play. But could you tell that on TV?
Oh yeah,
both teams.
Oh yeah,
both Auburn on Saturday and Houston were gassed.
Well, Janai Broom was done with 5 minutes to go.
He was totally gassed.
Yes,
but I thought the Houston big guys were gassed. I thought. So is that Florida? Is that just better conditioning? Is it style of play? Because Florida likes to play fast.
I think Auburn just ran out of bodies. Bruce Pearl alluded to that. They basically only played 7 guys. I thought Houston had more guys, but they didn't have the big guys were the problem. Florida's had too many big guys for people.
2 or 3 other things about the game. Then we're going to get some football stuff. A lot of other stuff I want to get to today. I don't think I've ever seen a championship game where a team got 2 technicals called on them. I've never. Now,
the one was nonsense.
Yeah, he said the coaches ran off on the court. That I don't believe him. I don't believe that's what he called. I think Golden was wearing him out, and he got ticked off at it. He tired of hearing it, and he lost his temper and teed him up. I think he lost his temper and teed him up.
Well, the referees go from calling 4 fouls in the first half to 25 fouls in the second half.
Yeah,
that was malpractice.
But let me tell you this. But I think I agree. The officiating's been bad in college basketball all year long. But I think he got ticked off and said, "I'll show you," and teed him up out of anger.
Yep.
When Chinulu slammed the ball down, that was stupid. You don't slam the ball down.
And Elijah Martin knew it. Elijah Martin called him over and said, "You can't do that."
Yeah, and so, but I've never seen 2 called. So anyway, after the technical on Golden, do you know the foul count after that?
Yeah. Houston got called for a ton of them.
11-1.
11-1.
That's why they do it.
Of the next 12 fouls. Exactly right, JJ. Of the next 12 fouls, once they teed up Florida for the technical, Houston got called for 11 fouls to Florida's 1, and the next 12 fouls called. So, wow. Yeah. So whether it's payback, whether we realize we got it wrong, and they started calling them more often on Houston.
And believe me, Houston social media is very much aware of that. They're also complaining about the hand-locked-in goaltending.
Yeah.
Which Florida probably got away with one there.
Yeah, but they did. And I'm sounding like a homer when I say this. Yeah, it was goaltending. But you're going to miss those. I mean, you're going to miss you're not going to get a ball's going to tick someone's finger and go out of bounds. If you didn't have the replay, sometimes you're going to miss that stuff. That's just and I sound like a homer guy. I'm going to take a break. I want to get to some football thoughts. I want to get back to basketball moving forward later on in the program. Let's talk some Jaguar football after this.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
If you need an insurance agent, I'll recommend the best guy in town, State Farm agent Craig Dewhurst. Call him at 940-9740. Really good guy, really good agent. Life insurance, homeowners, automotive, you name it, he'll handle it for you. Tell him what you need. He'll assess your whole situation. What kind of coverage do you need? How much coverage? What should your deductible be? What do you make, and how does it fit your cost and your rates? You will love dealing with Craig. What a nice guy he is, and how he'll help you get the right answers. The best in the business. Craig Dewhurst from State Farm, 940-9740.
1010XL takes you behind the microphone.
You run your mouth nonstop since the minute we met. I don't know what's going on. No, shut up.
Dan Hicken and Jeff Prosser.
Was that a fart?
The Drill.
It stinks.
Mornings on 1010XL.
Shut up.
When it's time for new tires, you can count on Big Chief Tire for quality and value. Frank Frangie here. Their expert team will help you quickly find the right fit, ensuring a safe, comfortable ride. With quality options, fair prices, and quick installation, you'll be back on the road in no time. Visit WeKeepJacksRollin.com or call 904-932-0950 today to schedule your appointment and roll into 2025 with great confidence. Big Chief Tire keeps Jacks rolling.
I'm just going to cut to the chase. What you really want to know is, why buy from Arlington Toyota? Mia here. How about over 800 vehicles, one lot, 60-day exchange, and friendly credit for everyone. Plus, right now, you choose a pre-owned 2022 Camry, RAV4, or Tacoma for $0 down and only $388 per month. Or how about no payments till August 2025? Shop in person on Atlantic Boulevard, just a quarter-mile east of 295, or online anytime at arlingtontoyota.com.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
Hi, I'm Sean Monahan from Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. Since 1977, we've been Jacksonville's local family jeweler with a beautiful selection of fine jewelry and certified diamonds. But we're also Jacksonville's leading buyer of gold and silver and diamonds from the public. Gold has recently hit an all-time high at almost $3,000 per ounce. Pay bills, buy something fun. Now is the time to sell your gold for cash and get top dollar, or trade it in for a new piece and get even more value at Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
The Golf Club of Southampton has plenty going on, from a great round to a round with your buds, soaking up some football and great grub. Every Saturday and Sunday at Southampton, enjoy their game day special. Wings tossed in your favorite sauce and a cold pitcher of beer. Membership opportunities to take advantage of, too. Join Southampton with a paid initiation, and you'll get a $500 gift card. Perfect for golf, pro shop purchases, or the clubhouse. Check it out. It's all happening at the Golf Club of Southampton.
1010XL celebrates high scorers.
1010XL and Southeast Orthopedic Specialists celebrate scholar athletes.
In class and on the court.
Brought to you by the Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Local Union 234. Wednesdays on the Frangie Show.
Bueller. Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey man, what's that noise?
Do you hear it too? You can hear it, right?
Yeah, it's your air conditioner. It's like a grinding or a rattling.
And it's getting on your nerves, right? Like it's eating at your brain and you can't think straight? But it just keeps grinding and squeaking and taunting and nagging. You're not good enough. You're a failure. Why can't you be more like your sister, the lawyer?
Yeah, I don't hear that last part so much.
Yeah, but it's not cool, right, Jason?
It could definitely be cooler. At Bueller Air and Plumbing, we can totally repair whatever that noise is and get your AC working smoothly and silently. We fix these things all the time.
So I won't be a failure?
Life should be enjoyed. If some irritating, broken air conditioner is making you crazy, you could miss it.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Hey everybody, it's Mike Dempsey, and I only like to recommend the best, which is why I'm proud to say that I chose Pella Windows and Doors for my own home. And now's a great time to upgrade your home with 0% financing for 60 months. That's 5 years of interest-free payments on the best windows and doors in the business. Don't wait. Schedule a free consultation at PellaJacks.com or visit their showroom on Phillips Highway just north of Bay Meadows. For quality you can trust and savings you can't miss, that's Pella Windows and Doors.
David here with Royal Pest Services. Man, don't let your yard be torn up by that heavy aeration machine this spring. Visit RoyalPestServices.com to learn more about our granular aeration. Broadcast throughout the tree and shrubs to break up that compacted soil. Visit RoyalPestServices.com.
Blue here for the Blue Crab House, located right off of San Jose. It's on Jewington Creek Road. They've been around since 1996. Indoor-outdoor dining. Also, takeout is available at the Blue Crab House. Open 4:30 to 9, Tuesday through Saturday. Sunday, noon until 9. Remember, Tuesday, $2 margaritas. Wednesday, $1 oyster night. How about the blue crabs? How about my personal favorite, the Canadian snow crabs? Whatever it is that you fancy, you get it right there. The Blue Crab House.
E.T. here, and it's time for the Taste of Golf at TPC Sawgrass, April 23rd. Join me for fine cuisine from chefs from the top golf clubs in our area. Craft cocktails, games, and unique auction items will be present. This is one of the most impactful charitable events in our area. Come network with a sophisticated audience who's passionate about golf and its values, while impacting the youth in our community. All proceeds benefit First Tee, North Florida. For tickets, go to tasteofgolf.com. Come on, somebody.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
It's a Nimnik Tuesday on the Frangie Show. Nimnik, your friends in the car business since 1941.
Frank Frangie here along with JJ LaSalle, the hacker filling in for Hays Carlyon. We appreciate Hacker doing that and then doing his show at night. The Hacker's double duty, so we sure appreciate you taking the time. We have not talked about the new Jaguar regime. You have on your show and I have on my show, but where were you? What do you think? What do you think about it? What do you think about everything where the state of the Jaguars now in your mind?
For the longest time, I've been do a complete rebuild, do a complete reset with a GM and a head coach. And they've done that. And not only have they done that, they've hired their first head coach, young head coach, under the age of 45. That's an offensive mind in the history of the team. I mean, you have to go back to Coughlin. I think Coughlin was like 48. He was an offensive mind. But every other coach they've hired has been a young defensive guy or an older offensive guy. They've finally gotten into the new realm of football where they hire the young offensive mind, pair him with a young GM who he's familiar with. So I love that aspect of it.
So your gut is this is you like where they are.
Oh, my gut is I love where they are.
Yeah,
I love where they are. And you add Baselli to the mix, and it just takes it even more over the top for me.
I was around all three of them last Friday at an event, and I will be again. And again, I got to preface this with, Frank, you always love the coach. I do. I always believe the guy is the right guy. I'm not going to be the guy that criticizes. So I'm such a homer. And I'm always love. Frank loves the guy. So I admit to that. So take it for what it's worth. But I do feel like this is an aligned group. Mm-hmm. I do feel like there's nobody submarining anybody else and never going to be. They really do believe in each other. That's Tony and Liam and James Gladstone all together. I do believe that. I believe that's where their head is. I believe they come out of meetings feeling good about the meeting. Sometimes when you work with someone, I don't care what industry you're in, you can have a meeting and agree to something, but you get in your car and go, you know what, the guy just doesn't see it the way I see it. You know what, he doesn't understand. The guy doesn't understand, but hey, we'll do it this time. But you know what I mean? I think there's a lot of that. That doesn't mean there's not some disagreement. That doesn't mean there's not some arguments. That doesn't mean healthy disagreement is good. Don't get me wrong. But you got to trust that the guy you're disagreeing with is a smart dude that knows what he's doing and has the good of the overall deal in mind. And I think that's where they are. Or will they be good at it? We don't know that till they play. You know, I'm like you. I like where they are too, but we don't know that till they play. Let's start with Trayvon Walker. Surprised they didn't extend him yet?
I'm surprised they didn't extend him yet. I mean, the fact that he's going to be here with the fifth-year option, that was a mere formality. I was talking about this with Hays yesterday. I get that his name is not Aiden Hutchinson, but the national unknowing about Trayvon Walker is just shocking to me. How many people just don't know that he's a good player, don't think he's a good player. He, to me, is one of the most undervalued players in the league. People think he's a bust outside of Jacksonville. That is a lazy narrative, people that don't do their homework, and I don't know why that is other than the fact his name is not Aiden Hutchinson.
Well, a couple of things. Number one, the reason the existence of Aiden Hutchinson is why. Many thought Hutchinson should go ahead of him. He went ahead of Hutchinson, and now Hutchinson has way better sack numbers. That's the thesis statement, is Hutchinson's got all the sack numbers. Trayvon doesn't have as good as sack numbers. Hutchinson looks like he's a really good player, by the way. He's a really good player, and the Jags could have taken him, and they took somebody else instead. That's why that narrative's out there. Here's my take on it. So I hear you. I think Trayvon's a damn good player.
I do, too.
I don't think he's a great player. I don't know if he'll be a great player, but I said this all on. You don't have enough good players to not lock up your really good players, which is why you lock up Tyson Campbell, even if people think you shouldn't have, think he's not. He's a good player. You lock him up. Obviously, Trevor, you lock him up. Obviously, Josh Hines-Allen, you lock him up. So I'm hopeful that Trayvon Walker gets extended. I know it's not today, but I'm hopeful that he's here for a long time, to your point. So, and by the way, my guess is he will be. We'll see. We'll see how that plays out. Again, they're rebuilding. So, I say rebuilding. They're certainly rebuilding the foundation. What does James Gladstone said? We're raising the floor. I don't think there's any question about that. Where are you on the draft? By the way, you do 78 mock drafts an hour.
Yeah.
By the way, how do those work?
Oh, when you do them yourself?
Yeah.
Oh, you can go to these websites. Like Pro Football Network is the one. You can type in seven round, pick the Jaguars.
And you pick, and you can see who's left.
And the computer will take the other 31 teams. You take the Jaguars. It's really interesting to see how it kind of
Everyone
plays
does
out.
one of those. I've not done one of those.
You would. I get the sense you would like it.
Okay,
I do. I get that sense.
But so, what do you think right now?
I mean, all eyes are pointing towards Mason Graham because you have to figure Cam Ward, Abdul Carter, Travis Hunter in some order, and then I think New England is probably leaning offensive line, whether that's Mimbo or Will Campbell.
Yeah, I don't think that.
But you don't think that?
No, I think both quarterbacks are going. I think Shedeur Sanders is going to sneak up there, and I think both Hunter and Penn State guy are both going to go in the top 4.
Who do you have? You have Cleveland or the Giants taking Sanders?
No, I don't. I think that could move around a lot.
Okay,
but I think at the end of the day, Abdul Carter, Travis Hunter, and the 2 quarterbacks, in my opinion, are going to go in the top 4.
Well, that would make a really interesting argument for the Jaguars then, whether you go Will Campbell or Mason Graham.
I'd be shocked if it's Will Campbell. I'd be shocked. What I would, that's my opinion. I may be way wrong.
Right.
I don't think there's any chance to go Will Campbell. That's my opinion. Now, I'll say that and they'll go. But
is that Campbell or is that any offensive lineman?
Any offensive lineman. I think okay. My opinion is they signed 10 guys, 4 offensive linemen. I think they used the draft they used free agency to address offensive line. I think they're going to get one later in the draft, but I don't think they're going to sign 4 of them out of their 10 and then turn around and draft one at 5. That's my opinion. So I don't think they'll do that. Mason Graham makes all the sense if everything checks out. If Ted McMillan had run, what did he run? 4.6.
Reportedly, he ran a 4.48.
We didn't run 4.4.
No,
he's not 4.4. But because if he was 4.4, would not surprise me to see them take him instead of Graham. There's more defensive linemen there's more potentially elite defensive linemen in the draft than there are receivers. I can tell you that. So I would not be surprised if he doesn't run, you can't take it. You certainly can't take him at 5 if he can't run. So, but I would be surprised. Will Campbell would surprise me for either New England or the Jags. I think, in my opinion, I don't know how it's going to be configured. I don't know if it's the Giants take one and the Browns take the other, or I'm sorry, if the Titans take one. Let's say the Titans take Ward. I don't know if it means the Browns and the Giants, one of them takes Shedeur Sanders, one of them doesn't. Does somebody else jump in there and take him? But I think he's going to the top 4 picks. I think at the end of the day, he, Hunter, Carter, and Ward are going to the top 4.
Well, if both quarterbacks go in the top 4, that's obviously terrific news for the Jaguars.
If they want Mason Graham.
Let me throw 3 names at you that are at least being discussed by the fan base. Ashton Genty, Tyler Warren, Jalen Walker.
Okay, I'll go in order. I don't think you take a running back there. Even though he's good, I don't think you take a running back there. I'm not sure you have enough good players to take a tight end there. I just don't. That's me. He's a good player.
Yeah,
they're both good players. I don't know that I don't know that those positions. I mean, you got 2 pretty good running backs. I don't care what anybody says. They're 2 pretty good running backs. Bigsby's got to take care of the ball. ETN's got to make people miss better rather than running 1,000 miles an hour into the middle of the line. But they got 2 good runners.
ETN does have a contract coming up, though.
He does. But I think they've got 2 pretty good runners. So that would surprise me. The Georgia guy's interesting.
Yeah, Walker.
Yeah, because I think he's a good player, and there's a lot of different things you could do with him. I'm not completely sure what he is. He's
6'1", 250, so he's not the tallest guy.
Yeah, I'm not completely sure what he is, but there's a lot of things you can do with him. But I can't imagine you'd go running back or tight end there. For me, again, I could be way off on this stuff. But I tell you this, I told last year we did the media mock draft, and I was pretty confident it was Brian Thomas Jr. And I said that, I think I was on with helmets and heels, and Jag Twitter wasn't very happy with me, but I was pretty confident that's who it was going to be.
The pick worked out pretty well.
Yeah, it did. And so I can't. I think sometimes you got to be careful not to overthink it. They needed defensive tackle. They need a 2-gap guy. They've got some. They certainly have some 3 techniques with what they think Mason Smith will be. I think they believe that he's going to be pretty good. Armstead's on the team. There's still maybe some stuff left there.
Jordan Jefferson, Devon Hamilton.
Jordan Jefferson and Devon Hamilton are more nose guards.
Yeah, that's true.
So they've got, but I would be surprised if Mason Graham's there and Travis Hunter's not. I'd be surprised if they don't take him, no matter what else is out there. Now, if the world gets crazy and Travis Hunter's there, well, like Hays and I talk about, you race the card up, but he's not going to be there. And so I would be, unless somebody comes out of nowhere, the one position I think that could intrigue them if the right guy was there would be receiver. I do think they need to get and want to get another receiver, a receiver like an elite receiver. Somehow, some way they didn't address it. Elite receiver, they didn't. Now, listen, if Diami Brown's good, well, then that changes everything. But I can tell you that's something I think they're going to pay attention to.
I'm in the Marcus Golden camp.
Yeah?
I really like Marcus Golden.
Do you? Where?
Not at 5, obviously.
Yeah.
You'd probably have to either trade way back or trade up because he's probably going to be late first, early second. I don't know if he lasts to 36. Yeah. But if the Jaguars end up with Marcus Golden, I'm not going to be upset.
As for the Jaguars on the field, I can't wait to see what comes out of tomorrow, the presser, what comes out of the connection that is being developed. It's not there yet. They just got here between Liam Cohen and Trevor Lawrence. Okay, I mean, between Grant Udinski and Trevor Lawrence. Between Spencer Whipple and Trevor. I'm very intrigued to see how that all plays out. Even though a lot of it won't be public, you can tell. You can tell where there's a bond and all that, and how will they practice and how long will they go, and when there's OTAs, when they're all out there, and we can get to see it a little bit. And then the mandatory in June. I'm very intrigued to see how it looks and feels different. And I'm always that way with a new coach and a new regime, but I'm very intrigued. But hey, a lot of Jaguar football coming up, man. They're back to practicing. They're on the field. That starts. They're going to meet with the media tomorrow. There's an availability, so we learn kind of where their head is. Before you know it's going to be OTAs. Before you know it's going to be minicamp. Then minicamp they break. You're going to blink and it's going to be camp, bro.
We start the whole thing over again.
We start it all over again. Yeah. But there's a new energy and a new feeling, a new fun to it, so it'll be fun to watch regularly. Let's take a break. When we come back, Hacker and I'll talk a little bit about college basketball moving forward. The Gators are the national champs. Let's revisit that. We'll go back to that and talk about what happens moving forward. That's next. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Florida Gators.
Congratulations, Gators!
Saluting right over left. This is the flagship station of the Florida Gators, 1010XL.
Frank Frangie here. These days, it's hard to know which companies to trust. But when it comes to banking, I trust South State Bank. South State truly values its customers, and they work hard to create meaningful, lasting relationships. I love going into my local branch. I see the same smiling faces I've seen for years. South State is the largest bank headquartered in Florida, so they're able to offer all the banking services you need. You can trust South State Bank. Banking forward. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Before you buy that diamond ring at one of those mega national chain jewelry stores, get a second opinion and save money at Beard's Diamonds.
We will beat anybody's price anywhere.
Meet John Lupo, owner of Beard's Diamonds, the town center's only locally owned jeweler with international connections.
We go directly right to the cutters. There is no middlemen, no wholesalers. It goes from the cutter to the consumer.
And John says Beard's selection is second to none.
You'll walk in the store and you'll see more diamonds, more bracelets, more earrings than anywhere in Jacksonville. I guarantee it.
And at Beard's Diamonds, you get a lifetime warranty and a nationwide price protection guarantee.
You can buy with confidence at Beard's. Everything comes with a money-back guarantee, and we will make sure you're 100% satisfied. We stand behind everything all the time.
All this plus no commission salespeople and a total no-pressure experience.
We want you to be a Beard's customer, and we'll do anything to get it.
Beard's Diamonds, a refreshing alternative to mega chain jewelers.
Everybody gets a good deal at Beard's.
Homeowners, storms don't wait, so why should you? Universal Roof and Contracting protects your home and your wallet. Invest in a stronger roof and save big. Right now, get 15% off roof replacement and repairs. Financing's available with monthly payments as low as $115. But this deal ends April 30th. Call 855-ROOF-HELP for your free inspection. Universal Roof and Contracting. Protecting your home, building your trust. License number CCC 057165, CBC 1258484.
Summer in Jacksonville is coming in hot. Lauren Brooks here. Beat the heat with Turbo Tint. Their window tint blocks up to 99% of harmful UV rays and keeps your ride cool and comfortable. Book today at turbotint.com.
I open the door and take you inside the locker room to get you closer to the field, the players and coaches you care about.
Get a look at Hays' blog on 1010XL.com.
My blog is brought to you by Roland Reach Plumbing,
where quality and experience count.
Transmission troubles? I'm Robin Sidbury, owner of Action Transmission Specialist on Merrill Road. So come in and see how we can help solve your transmission troubles. We service all makes and models. Remember, get traction. Call Action at 744-0755.
The flagship station of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
So, you finally have some time to yourself. Even if it is just the car ride home, it's you time. And look at you. Do not disturb set before you even got in the car? Impressive. You've earned this moment to just chill and drive. This break is brought to you by Target Zero and the Florida Department of Transportation.
I'm here with Danny Van Sickle, director of the Electrical Training Alliance. Danny, tell me about your program.
Hey, Rick, we're a 4-year electrical apprenticeship. Our students start out making over $40,000 a year, and right now make over $90,000 a year, including benefits. There is no tuition or student debt. You just have to apply and get accepted.
Did you say no tuition and no student debt?
You heard that right, Rick. Once you're accepted to the program, your only cost for the books and the course fees. About $800 a year.
That sounds like an amazing opportunity. How can I learn more?
Just go to etajax.org, and you can apply there.
Apply by May 15th.
Your yard's starting to look a little like a jungle? Well, it might be time for a little TLC. Or how about RTC, Russell Tree Care? At Russell Tree Care, they give your trees the perfect haircut. Whether it's trimming or removing, they'll make sure your yard looks its best, all while keeping safety as a top priority. Call Russell Tree Care today and let them take care of your trees. Russell Tree Care, 844-4Mr. Wood. That's 844-467-9663. Or visit RussellTreeCareLLC.com today. Your trees will thank you.
I'm Rick Julius, a partner at Cordell & Cordell. Divorce is more than just a legal process. It's a life-changing event that can impact your future, finances, and your relationship with your children. You've worked hard to build a life that you're proud of, and you deserve a legal partner who will work just as hard to protect it.
Offices in Jacksonville. Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's attorneys. Lisa Cargis, Florida resident partner. Rick Julius, licensed in Pennsylvania only. Online at CordellCordell.com.
Surf in the Summer Surf Camp is now registering for camps this summer. Get your kids out to the beach this summer. For registration and session dates, log on to surfinthesummer.com. Surf in the Summer, Jacksonville Beach's premier surf camp.
Beat the spring cleaning rush with big savings and priority booking by calling our heroes at Zero Res. This month, get Zero Resified from Jacksonville's #1 carpet cleaner. You'll get 25% off all cleaning services. That's right, 25% off. Check out 8,000 raving customer reviews if you don't believe me online. Call them, 904-287-5727, or visit their website, ZeroResJacksonville.com. Zero Res, spell it forwards or backwards. It's the right way to clean. Zero Res.
This is your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. I'm RJ Saunders for 1010XL. The Florida Gators are your 2025 men's basketball national champions thanks to the razor-thin 65-63 victory over the Houston Cougars. However, the sports media has already started looking ahead to next season, including that of ESPN's Jeff Borzello, who publishes way too early rankings for the 2025-26 campaign shortly after the final horn sounded. Fans of the orange and blue, you'll be very disappointed with his assessment, as he has placed UF at number 19 to start things off for next season. In the third and final matchup of the season between two in-state rivals, number 9 Florida State baseball faces Florida on tonight at 7 p.m. You can catch all the action right here on your home of the Gators, 1010 a.m. Right now, 73 degrees at 5:04. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
It's a Nimnick Tuesday on The Frangie Show. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941.
Frank Frangie, Hacker Nation with us. Ryan Green, you know Hacker from Hacker After Dark at Night. JJ LaSelva here. Hays Carlyon's got the rest of the week off. How the Magic doing?
They're battling tonight for the coveted 7th spot in the play-in tournament.
How are Shaq and Penny getting along?
Well, Shaq and Penny are long gone, but the Magic, their top 3 guys have missed over 100 combined games this year.
That's
so it's
Paolo Banchero,
Franz Wagner, and Jalen Suggs hadn't played in months, and he's out for the year.
Wow.
Banchero's been a top 10 NBA player since
You shut me down to my Shaq Penny joke. I was going to get to Jeff Turner. You weren't letting me go that far. You had about enough of my magic nonsense.
Give me some Anthony Bowie, some Greg Kite, some Danny Shays. Nick Anderson? Nick Anderson.
I was there. As I've told you many times, I was there. You weren't, but I was there when Nick Anderson stole the ball from Jordan.
Oh, in 95.
I was there.
Yeah.
I was there when he stole the ball.
I love that.
So that's all I got.
Magic are a great trivia question.
I just dropped all I got on you.
Well, no, the Magic, that's an answer to a great trivia question. They're the only team to beat Jordan in a 7-game series between 91 and 98 when he was with the Bulls.
That was also the first time in my life I spent $100 on a ticket.
In 95, with inflation, that would probably be pretty pricey in today's day and age.
What would that be today? Yeah,
a lot.
It was $100.
30 years ago.
It was $100. $100. My buddy and I spent $100. Just back then, you just gave me a $100 bill and they gave you the ticket.
Yeah,
I didn't have to add it to my Apple Wallet in 1995.
And that was the conference semis too. Then we had to go through Reggie Miller and the Pacers in the conference finals, only to get swept by Hakeem and the Rockets.
Yeah, that's right.
So we got our revenge on Hakeem. We took care of Houston last night. That's the Magic revenge.
College basketball. You just said RJ talk about the too early next year. So first of all, embrace this championship. I'll say it one more time to the Gator fans. You won the national championship. Gator fans were everywhere. The joy and the ecstasy along that river walk. It's hard to explain how magical it was, and I hope I did a good job earlier trying to, because everybody was there hacking. It was honest to God, it was one of the most amazing things you'll ever see. I mean that very sincerely. It was amazing stuff. So good for the Gators for winning that. I'll tell you this. Why would anybody think they're going anywhere? If the guy's proven he can do, he won the national championship. It's not like he just had a good year in the SEC, and he made the Sweet 16 and then lost to Kansas State before the 8. He won the national championship with no McDonald's guys, with nobody. Again, first team to ever do it since the expanded tournament. With no top 100 guys, first team ever. Mm-hmm. Why would anybody think he's not going to keep doing it? That doesn't mean he's going to win the title every year, but why would anybody? All you can do is follow the evidence. Doesn't the evidence suggest that this is what he did it at San Francisco. Doesn't the evidence suggest that he's going to have a top 15, top 10 team next year? If you assume Condon's back, Houck is back, Chinyulu's back. I think they will be. Handlogden, is back. Aberdeen's back. They've got 2 really good recruits coming in, and C.J. Ingram, he's 6'6", Cornelius Ingram's kid, and Alex Lloyd, a 6'2" shooter who's much like Trey Mann, excuse me. They're going to go get 2 portal guys.
They like Isaiah Brown.
They like Isaiah Brown, but I think he's going to have a tough time.
Yeah,
I think.
And then what about Klobuchar?
He'll be on the team.
Yeah.
He'll play more next year. He'll be the designated shooter. But then you go get 2 more good recruits, 2 more good transfers. And I don't know. I'm not saying, okay, they're going to go win the championship again. But wouldn't common sense say they're going to, this is a guy, Rick Barnes and Nate Oates and Bruce Pearl don't have a national title. This guy's got one. That matters.
Yeah. No, you're right.
So why would anybody not think they're going to be pretty damn good next year?
I guess my question is, I agree that Houck's back. I agree Handlogden's back. I think Sam Alexis is going to leave.
Yeah, and he should. He needs to go play somewhere where he's going to play more.
Are we convinced Condon's back?
No, I'm not convinced. He'll test the waters. He'll test it, but he's not ready.
Right.
He
might do what Richard and Clayton did last year.
Yeah, he'll test the water. And what Clayton did is he tested the waters. He decided he wasn't ready. He also got a 7-figure deal.
Yeah.
So do you give Alex Condon a 7-figure deal? So
and
maybe you do.
Right.
And so but for me, at least I think that's what happened. So with Condon, and he's rough around the edge. First of all, he's got to shoot it better. NBA, you know better than I do. How can you watch it? The big guys in NBA can all shoot it.
Mm-hmm.
If he can't shoot it, and he's not a great shooter yet, he's a 6'11", 7-foot guy that plays really hard. He's got way more skills than Colin Castleton, but he's not. Is he a better college player than Colin was?
No, probably not.
No, he's not. He's not. And Castleton's still on a two-way deal, right?
Yeah, well, he's on the G League. He's very good in the G League.
Yeah, but he's a G League player.
Yeah, he's a G League player.
So doesn't Condon stay one more year? And he'd get a two-way contract, but he'd spend most of his time in the G League. So wouldn't Condon be better off to spend one more year and go from being a guy that's going to be taken in the second round or 28th at best, but probably in the second round, to a guy that might be not a lottery pick, but go 23rd?
No, I agree. And like I said, you look at what Clayton and Richard did, particularly Clayton helping his stock. I'm sure Condon's taking note of that. Chinua is the interesting one to me because he only averaged about 19, 20 minutes a game. It's a crowded front court, and it's nice to have the four guys. If anybody were to leave, I would think Chinua might.
But to do what?
Well, to play more, I guess.
Well, he plays a lot. I think he
only averages like 19 minutes a game, though.
Okay. So you go somewhere and you play 24, 28. Yeah, I'd be. I don't think he's. I think Chinua and Halkard and Aberdeen are back.
Okay.
I'm not as sure on Kondo, but I think he's back.
And Handlogden's back.
And Handlogden's he's absolutely back.
Yeah.
So we'll see. So as for college basketball, here's the big thing: when you try and do these way too early top 25s. It's all new teams.
It's 1,200 people in the portal. I don't know how you can even do it.
Stephen Pearl, the Tennessee assistant, Bruce Pearl's son, maybe the heir apparent at some point, told a buddy of mine in the coaching industry they have virtually nobody of significance back. Zero. I mean, Broome and Baker Mazzara and all of them, they're all gone.
They think Pettiford's gone? Because Pettiford gave the Auburn fans hope.
And he's a freshman.
Yeah.
Because he's a freshman, maybe. But the point is, okay, so one guy comes back. But you get the point.
Right.
I mean, everybody's rebuilding their whole team.
I heard that Indiana had 0 people on their roster today.
I believe that.
Indiana.
And part of that's a coaching change. But I believe it. So you say, how can you predict to way too early top 25? We don't know who's on anybody's. I mean, Duke's losing all their guys. Now, Duke's losing them to this thing called the lottery. They're not losing them to the portal. But how can you have how can anybody do a who's good next year? So I'll tell you what I'll go back to. I think Tennessee's going to be good because he's a damn good coach. I think Alabama's going to be good because he's a damn good coach. I think Auburn's going to be good because he's a damn good coach. And the one guy of the four that has the ring must be a pretty damn good coach, too. I think they're going to be good.
I know how much you love non-power conference basketball. I mean, obviously JU and UNF, but you love, just the transfer portal destroys them. It's destroyed the mid-major.
Here's how the paradigm's changed. It has totally changed it. And listen, whether you talk to Jordan Mincy or Matthew Driscoll or whoever any of our buddies are that do it, Hacker, if you talk to them, you got two choices. A, you can whine about it forever, or you can say, okay, this is the world we're in. How do I mitigate it best? So you know what they mitigate it now? They turn themselves into a junior college.
Mm-hmm.
You're 6'9", big time. You're 6'9" guy at Wolfson High School. Okay, you dominated the Gateway. You're a pretty damn good player. Okay, but you're probably not Florida, Alabama good. But you might be SMU good. Okay, you with me?
Yeah.
You might be SMU good. You might be Oregon State good. You're probably not Florida, Alabama good, Auburn good, but you might be SMU good. So what Jordan Mincy and Matthew Driscoll have to tell you is, listen, you can go there if you want, it's SMU, or you can stay here. We'll get you this in NIL. Have 1-2 really good years here, and then go be Chaz Lanier.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Matthew Driscoll's telling recruits now is. Go be Chaz Lanier. How many players do you think UNF's going to lose? Josiah Miles, Nate Harris, or what's Harris? Josh Harris. Josh Harris, Josiah Miles. How many are they going to lose? Okay.
JU just lost one to Florida State.
Yeah. Who'd they lose?
Last week. I'd have the name.
Gilmore?
No, the name escapes. I'll get in a second. Okay. But I know literally happened at the end of last week.
Yeah. So the point. I know Michael Fly, one of their coaches, went to Florida State, so he probably went with him. But the point is, that's how you recruit now. If you're a mid-major, you tell a guy, come play here for 2 years.
Robert McRae.
Yeah.
Oh, Rob McRae went to FSU?
Yeah.
I did not know that. Okay, he's a really good player. Rob McRae's did that happen last week, JJ?
Yeah, 4 days ago.
Yeah, Rob McRae's a really good player. And you know what? and Rob McRae should go. Rob McRae could have gone last year. He gave JU another year when he didn't have to because he loved it so much. He loved Mincy so much. Now it's time for him to go do the Chaz Lanier thing, which makes a lot of sense. So, but that's how you recruit now. You have to, if you're JU or UNF, you say, listen, come give us 2 good years, let us develop you, come be a star, and then you're Chaz Lanier. And so you're a junior college. And that's the world, to your point, that's the world they're in.
And if you look at the SEC, people are saying, well, why was the SEC so good? Why did they get 14 out of 16 in? Remember when Florida played all these teams? I remember, and Hays and I were talking about this, whether it's Texas, Oklahoma, Auburn, Missouri, you name it. Senior, grad student, senior, junior. You weren't playing 2, 3, and 4 freshmen on these teams.
Right.
These teams were veteran teams. I can't imagine how many SEC starters are gone from this year's 16 teams.
Yeah.
I bet each of them lost 3 or 4 starters that were seniors.
Oh, no question. And by the way, I don't love the portal because you can't develop your teams. Okay, you can't develop camaraderie, and that's why Florida being able to create that connectivity. Florida being able to create that connectivity is pretty magical. But I do like what it left college basketball with. I like the fact that the juniors and the seniors are the better teams. I never liked it when Calipari would have 7 McDonald's guys and they'd go to the Final Four in the championship game, and you knew they're all one and done. I never liked that.
The Fab Five didn't do it for you?
No, it didn't. But now I like the fact that these good teams are old. I mean, I like that. So I don't like the fact that you can't keep your guy. I do like the fact that the teams are older. So we'll see. Let's take a break. Let's talk some NFL after this. Stay with us.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show. From the Harrell and Harrell studio, don't settle for less than you deserve.
Get a Gator baseball chomp on 1010XL.
Orange and blue, garnet and gold. Gators Seminoles. Tonight at 7 on 1010 AM.
Frank Frangie here. Nimnick Chevrolet is proud to be an 8-time Chevrolet Dealer of the Year recipient, the only dealership in Northeast Florida to ever win this prestigious award. Earned by treating customers with courtesy, respect, and fairness, all part of Nimnick's Treating You Right guarantee. Visit nimnickchevy.com to learn more. For 3 generations, Nimnick has been the place customers keep coming back to. I've been buying my vehicles from Nimnick since 1982 because they care about their customers and are invested in our local community, including supporting walk-off charities. And all we're trying to do to help underprivileged kids learn to play baseball. Treating you right, giving back to the community, more choices and better prices for you. So who has put the most years and stands behind a better experience? The answer is simple. Nobody but Nimnick. Visit their showroom off Cassett Avenue or shop 24/7 at nimnickchevy.com. Head to Nimnick today. Chevrolet, together let's drive.
David Garrard here. I've had the PRP treatment from Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, and my knees are really doing well. Platelet-rich plasma treatment may be the answer for whatever is hurting you.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
My son had a meniscus surgery a couple years ago. When it's smooth as silk, Dr. Kevin Murphy did it. Was playing tennis in 2 weeks. This is Patrick Malarkey, and I highly recommend
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. If you're dreaming of putting in a pool this year, choosing the right company is the most important decision you'll make. I've trusted Stanley Pools to build my pool, renovate my pool, and maintain my pool. Stanley Pools has been the best in the business since 1988, and they're still family-owned. Call them today at 904-269-7277 or find them online at stanleypoolsfl.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
Guys, your lawn's the home field. Now you can champion your St. Augustine grass. TopDressing.com just hit Jacksonville with a game-changing patented process. Aerate and transform your turf into a fairway-worthy masterpiece. Less water, shorter cuts, and the envy of every neighbor. No one else delivers a perfect 10 lawn like this. Visit TopDressing.com and dominate your block with the same process that golf courses use. Top dress your lawn like the pros with TopDressing.com.
Out with the old, in with the organized. Mia here for my friends at Closets by Design. Freshen up your home this spring with a custom organization solution. For a limited time, take advantage of our spring special and enjoy exclusive savings on closets, garages, home offices, and more. That's 40% off with an additional 15% off with 12-month special financing through April. Spring on this deal before it's gone. Call today to schedule your free in-home consultation with Closets by Design.
Let AA Automotive and 1010XL guide you through the off-season. Who are Jacksonville's top prospects?
I know these players.
Listen for draft previews brought to you by Big Brothers Big Sisters of Northeast Florida and Hurricane Grill and Wings. Your home is more than walls and a roof. It's where you breathe, drink, and power through life. At Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, we're here to keep it all running smoothly. From clean, cool air to clean water, reliable power to expert plumbing, we do it all. For over 35 years, families have trusted Donovan to make their homes healthier, safer, and more comfortable. Call Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing today, 904-270-COOL, where health meets home.
This is Corona Premier. Just 90 calories and 2.6 grams of carbs. It's a light beer that... Wait, this is a light beer? But we should really tell people about... Right, that's why I'm here. Sorry. Corona Premier, unexpectedly, light beer.
Corona Premier, a light beer with just 90 calories and 2.6 grams of carbs. The premier side of life. For those that are active and on the go, pick some up the next time you're heading out to enjoy the day under the sun. Corona Premier, an unexpectedly light beer.
Jumbo Shrimp Baseball is home tonight at the newly renovated VyStar Ballpark. Don't miss the day game tomorrow and Coors Light Thirsty Thursday, followed by fireworks Friday and Saturday nights. Baseball all weekend. Tickets start at just $5. JackShrimp.com for tickets. Jumbo Shrimp Baseball, affordable family fun.
Hi, I'm Jeff Breyer, president of Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring.
And I'm Zach Breyer. When my dad started in business in 1990, I wasn't even born yet.
That's true. And after 35 years and nearly 20,000 satisfied customers, we literally have a showroom in every neighborhood.
So whether you need more outdoor living space with a glass or screen enclosure, or you're looking to transform your home with new flooring, we've got you covered.
Visit our websites, or better yet, do yourself a favor and stop by one of our showrooms on Phillips Highway to experience the Lifetime difference and receive 20% off your purchase.
Buying a home used to feel like a complete headache. Listings here, pre-approval there, financing somewhere else. Now, Rocket is giving every home one address. Rocket.com. A single seamless homeownership platform to help you find, buy, sell, finance, and refinance your home. Everything you need, all under one roof. Visit Rocket.com, the new home for all things homeownership. Rocket. Own the dream.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
It's a Nimnick Tuesday on The Frangie Show. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941.
Frank Frangie along with Hacker Nation filling in for Hays Carlyon. JJ LaSelva's here. When's our next trip to Disney? When are we going?
Forrest has his 6th birthday, May 7th, so we're doing a little 3-day getaway down there, May 7th, 8th, 9th.
That like fun.
He just got tall enough to ride Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, wow.
That was a big moment for him. That was a big moment for him, yeah. It's cool. You know what's cool, though, honestly, is I get to, like, relive everything through his eyes now because he's getting to the point where he can ride everything and experience things he's never experienced before. So as a dad, that makes it very, very cool.
Yeah, that is cool. So 7th, 8th, and 9th. Where all do we go when we go to Disney?
Well, on that trip, we're doing Epcot one of the days. We're doing Magic Kingdom one of the days. And we have what we call a resort day, Frank.
Oh.
Where we literally stay at the resort and hang out by the pool and do whatever.
You're swanky. I've always said you were something.
Oh, yeah.
You're swanky.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, JJ, I had another quasi-meltdown today at the airport. I want to share with you.
Please.
JJ and I are on a different page on this whole self-checkout thing.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, JJ loves it. Okay.
No, I don't.
I thought you said you loved it.
No, I never use it.
Oh,
I'm with you. I hate that I go to a store and have to do it myself.
So today, I'm in the airport in Nashville, connecting, and I like a Diet Coke and a protein bar. Protein bar and a Diet Coke. My needs are small. It's not a lot.
Yeah.
and card or cash. I'm going to use the card. Or you can do the self-checkout. So I say very respectfully, I choose to not do the self-checkout. And
how did they receive that information?
The lady said, if you have a card, you need to use the self-checkout.
Oh.
I said, I understand that. And I'm a very respectful person. I respect where you are, and that's your job.
But I've had 40 minutes of sleep.
But I had slept for 42 minutes. But my choice is not to use the self-checkout. Sir, I'm sorry. If you have a card, you have to use the self-checkout. Okay? So I walk over there. Okay? And as I'm walking over there, another person that works there goes behind the counter where this first person was and lets the person pay with their card. Now
you lost it.
Now I'm not a lost it kind of guy,
oh, man.
but now I'm not really happy. Okay, so this happened today in Nashville, Tennessee.
Yeah,
where the Titans play. I want to share that. Okay, so I walk up, and I'm not. First of all, I'm no good at the self-checkout thing. You know me. Can you imagine how bad can you imagine how bad I would be at that?
No, I imagine that would be quite the scene.
I'd spend $12,000 on a pack of gum because I wouldn't know what I was doing.
I don't know if Hack would be good at it either.
I don't do it. Heidi does it. I don't do it.
So then but I'm standing there at the self-checkout, okay, watching this other person give a card and buy their whatever they bought from the new cashier that replaced the old cashier that told me to go to the self-checkout.
Ah, yeah.
Okay? Well, I'm not happy. Okay, but I'm not that guy. I'm not yellow screamer guy. But I've got a delay, so I just stand there. Now there's someone behind me that wants to use the self-checkout. Okay, and I'm standing there. The person standing behind me was wondering, what's this dumbass going to do? Either, whatever. So I stand there. Finally, this person pays. So I go back up to the cashier, and I say, "Can I pay for this Diet Coke and protein bar by handing you a card?" You push the card, push the buttons, and tell me, sir, have a good day. And the girl says, you can. So I hand her the card, okay, and I pay for the Diet Coke and my protein bar, and she runs it, okay. And the thing to do then is to say thank you and walk away. That's what a mature person would do.
Right.
Just thank you and walk away. But at this point, I'm inquisitive, okay. So I asked, why didn't she let me do that? And she goes to me, she doesn't like the process when people have a card.
Ooh.
Well, aren't you getting paid to process when people have a card?
Yeah, that's no good.
And she was still there. She was like, she's rearranging books.
So you asked loud enough so she could hear, of course.
I did.
Very passive-aggressive of you.
Yeah, it was. And
I respect it.
And I said, I would never raise my voice. And I said that, and she wouldn't look up. And the other one, okay. And so that was it. So I left out a bit. But, it was an experience that scarred me a little bit. I'm not very happy with
I like that the other employee threw her immediately under the bus.
Yeah, that's what she said. So that happened today after 42 minutes of sleep as I was connecting to the Nashville airport.
Dude, there's a worse situation going on in our city. On Southside Boulevard at a gas station I won't name, but they're all over town.
Okay.
And if it's past, I think they say 9 p.m. or 10 p.m., I don't know which one it is, but it's not that late at night. But if you go in there and you buy whatever it is, whether it's cash or card, whether it's tobacco products, a soda, it doesn't matter. There's a lady there working, but she refuses to touch your card or cash or anything. There's a whole machine that gives you you put your card in there, you put your cash in there, and the change comes out. And I'm telling you, every single time I have a nastier sly remark.
Yeah.
You're a better person than me because I always degrade the person working there. Like, what the hell are you doing?
I get it. I didn't degrade.
You're better than me.
I asked the question, but what we have to do as a country, as a civilization,
society,
is get rid of self-checkout.
We have to get rid of it.
I've never agreed with anything more in my entire life.
We need a lobby. We need a good lobbyist. Okay, I want to take this all the way to the top.
We love our friends at Daly's Place. One of the most fascinating things that's ever happened in my life was a couple of months ago. I'm at Daly's Place.
Which is phenomenal.
Daly's Place is phenomenal. Love it. I think I took Forrest there to something. I forget. It might have been wrestling, but it was an event that I took Forrest there. He's like, Daddy, I want something to drink and a bag of chips. I said, all right. So apparently, this is 41-year-old, very non-technological hacker here. Okay, I don't really know what I'm doing. People my age probably had no issues with this whatsoever. You have to show your credit card before you enter this area of Daly's Place in the concession area.
Yeah.
Then you pick the items up. And then I guess because it read your card before you entered, it knows exactly what you took or something.
Yeah.
And you just walk away.
And you just walk away.
Well, that's
I was
so weird.
flabbergasted by this. I have never seen anything like this in my life. And I told Heidi, I'm like, I didn't just shoplift this stuff, did I? And she's like, no, they know. I'm like, are you sure they know?
But I can tell you this. That's funny. But they would have known. But at least I've gone to Daly's all the time. I'm a Daly's customer. They would help you if you said
right. Yes,
I understand that we are in the world of self checkout. Whether I like it or not, we're there. But if you went to Daly's, because Daly's is a pretty good place, and they do, you say, hey, can you help me? They say, sir, we're happy to help you. You know, then I'm okay. If I go to Target, to buy something and I don't want to do the self checkout, they're going to say, no problem, sir, come over here.
But when Big Bertha doesn't want to read your card, that's a problem.
Yeah. That's what pissed me off. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand most people in a good place are going to help you. So anyway, that's my dilemma. So that's why I'm not happy about it. Where's Aaron Rodgers going?
I think he's going to announce on the Pat McAfee show this week he's going to Pittsburgh.
He seems like he would hate self-checkout too, by the way.
Yeah, no
Aaron
question.
Rodgers,
Yeah, and he's got more clout than me. He's got way
absolutely.
more clout than me. That seems to be the word. He's going to do this big event at Pat McAfee show. Pat McAfee's doing this big event in Pittsburgh.
Which I'm shocked that Tomlin's okay with that, if that happens.
Well, then that's the question I wonder is, now listen, there's a lot they both have something in common. They both were wonderfully great once upon a time, but haven't done much in quite a while, right? I mean, as much as Mike Tomlin's respected for all the winning seasons, they haven't won a playoff game since 2017.
The amazing thing is he keeps getting them there, amazingly enough.
Yeah.
They can't win, though.
So he hasn't won in a long time. Aaron Rodgers hasn't won in a long time. Or do they sort of need each other, right? I mean, the Rodgers thing is terribly intriguing to me.
At this point, if he goes on the McAfee show and doesn't announce he's a Steeler, it would be an upset, because that's the common thought, is that's going to happen. I think is it tomorrow? It's tomorrow or the next day they're doing that show in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, it's this week.
Yeah, it's this week.
Yeah. So interesting stuff. So it's going to be crazy. All right, we're going to take a break. Are you sticking around? Or you heading down to the Igloo?
No, I got about 20 more minutes before I have to go see some ice skating.
How about so Little Hack's going to be a hockey player?
He wants to play hockey. Now that's the flavor of the month right now.
Is he going to be a goon or is he going to be a scorer?
Well, I asked him.
I can see Little Hack as a goon.
I want to show him like Ty Domi back in the day. Go rough some people up. Absolutely.
We'll take a break.
Scott Stevens.
We will wrap the program after this. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
This is Brent Musburger's Visa in Action update on 1010XL. Brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The Florida Gators winning the national championship on Monday night in San Antonio, beating the Houston Cougars 65-62. The Duke Blue Devils, who made a Final Four appearance, are the betting favorites to win next year's national championship. Duke is at plus 1,000. Houston plus 1,200 to make a return visit to the championship and this time claim the title. UConn at plus 1,400. Purdue at plus 1,500. Louisville and BYU both at plus 1,600 to win next year's national championship in men's basketball. On the women's side, both UConn and South Carolina are plus 400 to win next year's title. Earn cash back on your gaming transactions with the GBank Signature Visa Card at vsin.com/GBank. I'm Tony Desiri with your Visa in Action update on 1010XL.
Plumbing problem? AC acting up? Septic tank trouble? Don't waste time calling 3 different companies. Just call Duck Duck Rooter. We offer plumbing, septic, and air conditioning services, making it easy for you to work with one trusted company and one simple build. Every department has highly skilled experts trained for the job. For fast, reliable service from a company that does it all the right way, call 904-862-6769 or visit duckduckrooter.com.
Lauren Brooks here. At Hodges Mazda, they are proud of their solid reputation in the Jacksonville community. As your hometown Mazda dealer, their high customer service standards and their huge inventory of new and used cars provide their customers a consistently first-rate car buying experience.
Their professional non-commissioned sales team puts your best interest first without exception. And all new vehicle purchases include the Hodges Mazda Protection Package. Visit them online at HodgesMazda.com or stop in today to learn more and discover the Hodges Mazda difference.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
Poker players, the Run Good Poker Series is coming to Best Bet Jacksonville from April 24th to May 4th with 10 poker events, including the $1,200 main event, hosting a $300,000 guaranteed prize pool, and event number 1, a $400 no-limit hold'em tourney with a $200,000 guarantee. The action is non-stop. One in, win your seat through satellite starting April 4th at Best Bet Jacksonville. For all the Run Good Series structures and details, visit bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
It's heating up at Ride Now Jacksonville. Get water adventure ready with the 2024 Yamaha AR195 boat. With its supercharged engine, innovative design, and water sports features, the Yamaha AR195 is ready for anything you throw at it. Originally $46,000, now just $36,000. Oversized in-floor storage for wakeboards and extra gear, deck and hull design that maximizes space, comfort, and versatility like no other 19-foot boat. Ride Now Jacksonville on Blanding Boulevard. We'll meet or beat any price on all 2024 and prior models.
You don't think this would be a good moment to text somebody?
There's never a bad moment to share your opinion on the 1010XL text line. Designed by Lifetime Enclosures. Share your opinion
as soon as possible
at 641-1010.
Collisions happen on every play in football. Collisions also happen every day on the road. If you need auto body repair, from a $30 job to a $30,000 job, trust San Jose Collision in Mandarin.
Brian and Angela Wall here with Window World. By now, everyone has heard about saving money on their energy bills. There are all sorts of things you can do to cut energy costs, but most people don't think about their windows.
But Window World knows that the biggest energy loss in almost every home is the windows. There is more energy loss from old builder-grade windows than just about anything else in your home.
You can upgrade your heating and air, your appliances. That's good too. But before you do all that, upgrade your windows to Window World's energy-efficient windows.
Window World's windows are easy to clean, energy efficient, and have the best guarantee in the business.
Window World's slogan is simply the best for less, and we mean it. You get great American-made windows, and you get to keep more of your money when you buy from Window World. Need any more reasons to buy your windows from Window World? Call them today and set up your free in-home estimate, or go online to windowworldneflorida.com.
Window World, simply the best for less.
Thank you for your business.
Window World also offers energy-efficient doors.
Reclaim a pain-free life with Rebound Rehab. If you've been injured or simply feeling the effects of an active life, you can rely on Rebound Rehabilitation to get you back in the game. Sitting on the sidelines isn't any fun. Trust Rebound Rehab's team of trained physical therapists to get you back up to speed and feeling full again. Now more convenient than ever. 11 locations to serve you, including new offices in Riverside across from St. Vincent's, Point Meadows, and Middleburg. Just log on to reboundrehab.com to see all they've got to offer.
Need or want cash? Beach's Jewelry and Pawn has cash available. Ready to buy guitars, surfboards, jewelry, firearms, tools, and especially gold. They need it all, selling or pawning. Get cash on the spot at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
Hey, it's Matt Hays. There was a time when if you handed me a bread basket at a restaurant, you better watch your fingers. Pizza, pasta, bread. Carbs were absolutely my weakness. I'd be lying if I said they didn't have me hooked. Then Awaken 180 came into my life. I've been down every diet road there is, but this is different. It's not just another diet. It's a total reset of how you see food. You know that carb craving that we all accepted as normal? That's gone for me now. Don't get me wrong. I still enjoy the good stuff, but here's the difference. I no longer feel like I need them. So when the server puts that bread basket on the table, I just smile, sit back, and say, nah, I'm good. That feeling of control is all thanks to Awaken 180. I lost 40 pounds in 9 weeks on Awaken 180. Hacker lost more than 110. Baloo is on his way, and you can lose whatever you want to lose. It doesn't matter what your goal weight is. Awaken 180 weight loss will get you there quickly and safely. It's a clear path to success without disappointment. Awaken 180 has changed my life, and it will change yours too. Give them a call at 844-346-1800 or go to awaken180weightloss.com. Trust me, You'll thank yourself.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the cool down from the cool guys at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Fast, reliable, and honest service since '87.
All right, where have we been on the course of the program today? Hacker Nation is here all week long, filling in for Hays as he did last week. We appreciate Hack stopping by. We talked all about the Gator win in San Antonio and the fact that the Gators won the national championship in college basketball. Still kind of surreal even for me. We talked about that, the experience in San Antonio, what it's like, why the Gators won, why they connect so well with the Florida fan base. I think that was our lead story. We talked a little bit about Trayvon Walker. Will he get extended? My guess is probably, but I don't know. We'll certainly find out more about that. Jags will be on the field. The offseason workouts begin, and looking forward to that as well. So all that coming up, all that has come up on the program today, which has been kind of fun. I'm very interested, and this is a story that will develop, in the next 6 months, 3 months, 4 months, how Trevor Lawrence looks, acts, feels different if he does it all under the new regime. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, Trevor came in here and had the disastrous season under Urban. Okay, and he got stuck being the quarterback, and that wasn't his fault. I think Doug Peterson's a really good coach. But it did look like for a while, year three under Doug, year 4 overall, that at times Trevor was still making mistakes he made early in his career. Is that a Trevor thing? Is that a coaching thing? I don't know. Because I'm a big Trevor Lawrence fan. I think Trevor's going to be. I still think he's going to be really good. Quarterbacks are better in their 5th through 9th years. We all know that. But I'm real intrigued with all the Trevor stuff. What he says after, you know what I mean? What he says after practices, what he says about Spencer Whipple as quarterback's coach, what he says about Grant Udinski as coordinator, what he says about working with Liam Cohen. Say what you want. As good as Baker Mayfield's always been, Liam unlocked some things in Baker last year that we hadn't seen before. So that relationship and how it personifies itself in the media, to fans, what he says, how he looks, I'm very intrigued at what 16 looks like this year.
No, I agree. And talk about the bad hand he's been dealt. I mean, if you go back to Dabo Sweeney and Clemson, he's had 4 head coaches in now 6 years, which is absolutely crazy to think about. But again, Liam Cohen, 39 years old. We know what he did with Baker Mayfield, a new innovative staff, a 29-year-old offensive coordinator. The OC is 4 years older than Trevor Lawrence, which is crazy to think about, and Grant Udinski. And look, I mean, you talk about the weapons on this team. Christian Kirk is gone. De'Ami Brown is in. Gabe Davis, to me, and we were talking about this last week, Frank, we talk about BTJ, obviously, De'Ami Brown, Brenton Strange, Bigsby, Etienne. You almost have to remind yourself that Gabe Davis is here. And he's going back to his roots, right? They released some jersey numbers today. He's taking Christian Kirk's jersey number. He's taking 13. I'm not sure how Jaguar fans feel about that necessarily. Devin Lloyd's going back to his college number, 0, and Gabe Davis is going to 13. But I honestly have to remind myself Gabe Davis is here. I was very high on him a year ago. I was obviously wrong about that. If they get anything out of Gabe Davis, though, I mean, look, this offense could be very good.
I thought he'd be very good, too. And again, in fairness, he deserves the mulligan because a lot of things went wrong last year. It certainly went all to Gabe's fault. But I'm not sure what he is.
He had a bad injury to end the year.
Yeah, he did. But I'm not sure what he is. He caught a lot of deep touchdowns in Buffalo. He was a touchdown maker there. But was that because they had Josh Allen and people were worried about Stephon Diggs and the rest of those cats? Or is he going to be a touchdown maker here? He looks like a possession guy. He's a big physical guy. He's stockier than he is. He's not long and lean. He's stocky. But he got deep a lot in Buffalo. Can he do that here? I'm not sure I know what he is. And again, he's a mature guy. He's a well-liked guy. He can be a very good Jaguar. I'm just saying, as a player, I wouldn't know how to. I mean, I can tell you what I've seen Brian Thomas Jr. 1 year. I know what he is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Most players, you have a pretty good idea. When I say what they are, I'm not even talking about how good. I'm talking what style of player. Is he a deep threat? Is he Christian Kirk who runs all those crossers? He's got Christian's numbers. Is he gonna start running the crossers that Christian used to run? Is he a slot receiver? Is he an outside receiver? If you assume that Brian Thomas Jr. obviously is going to be outside, if you assume that Parker Washington's their slot, at least as we sit here on April 8th, a long time before there's the game, but if you assume BTJ's outside and Parker Washington's in the slot, which I'm going to assume for today, that means Gabe's the other outside guy, unless he gets beat out by De'Ami Brown, right? If we're sitting here having a conversation about who's what, I'm pretty sure De'Ami Brown's an outside guy.
And they're very high on De'Ami Brown. They're paying him $10 million for 1 year, so he's certainly going to be in the fold.
They think that every team tries to find that guy that, oh, my God, may be way better than everybody thought. Jimmy Smith. I mean, when the Jags brought Jimmy Smith here 700 years ago, nobody knew he was going to be that.
You could argue Keenan. Keenan was an afterthought in Washington.
Yeah,
or Cleveland, too, I guess.
Good point. But, I mean, Jimmy was a megastar in the league that Dallas had no interest in.
Right.
So you always want to think you found that guy. And a lot of times you strike out trying to find that guy. But I can tell you, they think they may have something, De'Ami Brown. I will tell you that.
That's a Gladstone thing, too, because I think he said that he was very high on him in L.A.
He was. He did say that.
And then Les Snead, I guess, sent him a text saying figures or something when they signed De'Ami.
Yeah, the question is, why did he have such a pedestrian 2-3 years in the league in the regular season and then was so good last year in the playoffs? Why were they double-teaming McLaurin? Was it part of the development of Jaden Daniels? You know what I mean? Why all of a sudden did he have this big year? I don't know that answer, but that the answer to that question is a big part of all of it.
Well, Liam Cohen got a front row seat. That wild card game, De'Ami Brown had 5 for 89 and a touchdown in that win. So he obviously got up close and personal and saw De'Ami firsthand.
But I'm intrigued by that. So it'll be a lot of fun to watch how the whole thing plays out. And I'm getting excited about the draft. I'm not like everybody else. I don't talk about draft November 3rd. But I'm excited about the fact that there's 10 picks. I'm excited about the fact that it's very clear they're very intentional about rebuilding the foundation of that roster. That doesn't mean they're rebuilding it. They're not getting rid of the key elite guys, but it's clear, Hack, they're very intentional about. You can tell they're very intentional about this is a new birth, man. This is a rebirth, and I kind of like it.
I mean, 21 picks in the next 2 years, 10 this year, 6 in the top 126 of this draft. I like it a lot too. And look, there's a lot of needs. I mean, we know they're going to go corner, wide receiver, interior D line. They need an edge, right? They still need a third edge, and I expect them to address that at some point. A lot of positions they need to address, and luckily they have 10 picks and able to do that.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
Snuck up on us too, man. 16 days until the draft.
Is it 16 days?
It's 2 weeks from Thursday.
How about that?
Yeah,
so we're right around the corner. Huh?
Yeah, I'll never forget the draft party where the guy went double bird at you.
Double bird.
Yeah, the best draft party moment ever.
Mudville Grill.
Yep.
The Hackers talking about. I announced.
Tyson Alu-Alu.
Poor
Tyson Alu-Alu.
We were doing a draft party. I was on the upper deck, or that little step-up deck at Mudville Grill, and everybody wanted Tebow. At least all the Gator fans in the place wanted Tebow. And with the 10th pick in the 2000, was it 10?
10, yeah.
With the 10th pick in the 2010 NFL draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars take defensive tackle out of Cal, Tyson Alu-Alu.
Oh.
One big guy right in the middle, jumped up, and gave me the double bird.
Double bird to Frangie. Frank's like, what did I do?
I mean, a big double bird.
Oh, yeah.
He's flexing with the double bird. So,
those draft parties were fun back in the day.
Remember the draft party days?
They were good.
We had a lot of fun.
They were good.
We really did. We had a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun draft parties in the day. So Rick will come in here in just a second. Tomorrow, I want to get into some other stuff. I want to look at a little college football. Have you talked to college football, you and Hays?
A little bit, yeah.
You worried about Lagway?
Worried? No. I just wish we would have more clarity.
Yeah.
Like Florida, it would have been very easy to come out and say why he's not going 100% in the spring. They really haven't made that public.
It's been very covert, haven't
right, which is leading the mind to wander in a lot of different areas. And also when you have Mark Long on the station, and Long saying some of the things he does, that also leads the mind to wander a little bit too.
Mark's my buddy, and I like him very much. I've heard different stuff than he said. I have not heard. Mark Long, I think, said on our radio show that he thinks he needs shoulder surgery.
That's what he was told, yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that's not correct. I've heard that his shoulder's fine, that there's reasons that he's being held out, but there's no worry among the people in the mix that there's no worry about a shoulder problem, and that's what I've been told. We'll see. Let me say that. Let me rephrase it. Of course, there's a shoulder problem. He's not playing. But there's no worry that there's some significance to it.
Right.
I can tell you I've been told there's no significance.
I mean, the spring game Saturday, spring football has been completely under the radar because of what the basketball team has obviously done. But they wrap up spring festivities this weekend. And the fact that Lagway's not throwing, almost 4 months after the season does lead, like I said, the mind to wander. So we'll see. If he's not throwing in July and August, it's certainly a much bigger situation at that point.
Might have a pretty good team, by the way. If Lagway's healthy and takes that next step that the freshman to sophomore guys tend to take.
Schedule's brutal, man.
Yes, that'll be fun, right? All right, so you're going to the Igloo?
I'm going to the Igloo to watch my 5-year-old skate.
Is Baloo giving you any hockey advice?
I haven't asked him. I'm going to get the Ty Domi one-on-one how to be a goon and pass that off to Forrest to see if he can instill that.
All right, have fun over there. I'll see you tomorrow.
All right, buddy. See you tomorrow.
Let's say hello to Rick Baloo.
Now, the 2-minute drill. Serviced by Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. Locally owned and operated. We're your neighbors. CoolCatsJacks.com.
The coolest cats in town.
So Hacker's son is ice skating. How old is he?
He'll be 6 in May.
Here's the problem. Forrest is already taller than Ty Domi. Okay, we're going to have to find someone else.
But listen, I think if he's going to be a hockey player, I think Forrest's got to be a goon, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Don't you? I mean,
just like his dad.
Yeah, I
mean, who wants to walk down the aisle when Hawker's walking down the aisle? You guys stuff shit in closets and stuff.
Correct. So I just think I want to see, and I think you need to coach him up on the. So were you a goon or were you like a offensive?
Kidding me? I was a cheap shot artist. I ran away. I hit
guys. Did you score a lot of goals? You played a lot of hockey, right?
Stuck behind the big guys.
Did you score a lot of goals?
Sniper.
Did you score goals?
Yeah, I did. I put the puck in the net. It was my favorite sport. It was my best sport.
You know what I want? I want like a picture of you playing hockey in high school. Can you give me that?
Yes. I'm not kidding. I can get you football and baseball too.
I don't care about those. Okay. I've played plenty of those.
How about the one when I'm 2 years old in the Keene, New Hampshire newspaper where they call me another Bobby Orr as a 2-year-old on skates?
Can I get that? Please?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
That is a true photo.
But I want.
I made the newspaper in Keene.
Look. I spent a lot of time in Keene, by the way.
Yeah.
As you know, my wife's got family in Keene.
Keene, New Hampshire's a great place. Yes, that's where my mom was born. And
there you go.
There you go. Yeah.
Where Carlton Fisk is from.
Carlton Fisk, right down the road. Rick Flanagan.
There you go.
Was out in those parts. Rick Miller.
Yep. Hey, what'd you think of the ball game last time?
I'm not surprised at all. I mean, I said it all week. Even down 12, Florida just finds a way. I didn't think it would end the way that it would.
Yeah.
That Houston not even being able to attempt consecutive shots
Never got a shot
at
off.
the end of the game. And Clayton Jr., who was, so out of the ordinary in the first half, makes defensive plays like that down the stretch is just phenomenal. So, I thought Florida needed 70 to score.
Yeah.
And they can get there. If you had told me the winner had 65 last night, without even thinking about it, I would say, that means the Houston Cougars won the national title.
I think what's interesting about their season, Rick, is there are so many things like that are improbable but happen.
Yeah.
It's improbable that Florida would score 65 points and win, but they did. It's been an improbable season. I was coming up tonight.
We got all that tonight. Adam Kaplan as well from NFL Sirius Radio. We'll get the very latest from him on some NFL's comings and goings along with the Jags. So that's all tonight.
All right. The next Bobby Orr will be up at 6 o'clock as he goes into the night. Tomorrow, Hacker rejoins me. Hacker will be with us the rest of the week, filling in for Hays on the program. We're out of here. Don't go anywhere. Rick Blues next. This is 1010XL and 92.5 FM.